Many say that North Korea is communist. What will be your response after watching this video? North Korea presents itself as a country shrouded in a mantle of oppression and totalitarian control, where its citizens' lives are rigidly dictated by an authoritarian regime. The omnipresent state surveils every aspect of existence, from political loyalty to the simplest daily activities. Citizens live under constant surveillance, with severe restrictions on freedom of expression, movement, and access to information from the outside world. 1. The cult of the supreme leader. At the heart of North Korea beats a deep cult towards the leaders of the Kim dynasty. From the early days of Kim Il-sung to the present with Kim Jong-un, veneration of the leaders has been a cornerstone of North Korean society. Colossal portraits of the leaders adorn public buildings and squares, while impressive monuments like the bronze statue of Kim Il-sung in Pyongyang symbolize the omnipresence and authority of the dynasty. This reverence is not limited to the physical. Citizens must revere and respect their leaders as almost divine figures, embodiments of the nation's guidance and protection. They are attributed almost mystical qualities, portrayed not only as political leaders but as paternal figures who nurture and guide the nation towards greatness. The cult of personality intricately intertwines with North Korean social fabric, permeating every aspect of public and private life. Public celebrations like the Day of the Sun and Party Foundation Day are ceremonial occasions that reinforce fervent adoration towards the leaders, where citizens participate in rituals of loyalty and demonstrate devotion through acts of obedience and sacrifice. These events are not only manifestations of political loyalty but rituals that reinforce social cohesion and promote a national identity deeply rooted in Kim leadership. This cult not only ensures regime stability by fostering a sense of national unity under centralized authority but also perpetuates a historical narrative and worldview that legitimizes the leader's absolute power over the lives and destiny of all North Koreans. 2. Militarization of society. North Korea is a nation where military presence is omnipresent and exerts significant influence on its citizens' daily lives. From a young age, North Koreans are exposed to military culture through educational programs and social events that glorify military service as a sacred duty to the nation. Military parades are highly choreographed events held regularly to showcase the country's military might and reinforce national unity under the guidance of the Workers' Party of Korea. These parades not only display the country's defensive capabilities but also serve as means to uplift national spirit and strengthen popular support for the regime. Furthermore, North Korean social structure is designed to privilege the military, granting them preferential access to resources and opportunities. Military members enjoy benefits such as subsidized housing, priority access to medical and educational services, and better job opportunities within the public administration and ruling party. This system of privileges reinforces the strategic and symbolic importance of the armed forces in regime stability, thus ensuring continued support and loyalty towards the country's military and political leadership. 3. The black market economy. Despite strict state control over the economy, a clandestine black market flourishes in some countries, becoming a vital network to meet citizens' daily needs. This parallel market not only provides basic goods scarce in state-run stores but also serves as a channel for accessing entertainment and prohibited products, thus defying government regulations. From basic foods to electronics and foreign media, the black market offers citizens the opportunity to obtain items that would otherwise be out of reach due to strict government regulations. This phenomenon not only addresses the population's material needs but also symbolizes a form of silent resistance within a highly regulated system. By accessing goods through unauthorized channels, citizens not only meet basic deficiencies but also exercise a form of personal freedom against omnipresent state control. Despite associated legal and social risks, the black market represents an escape valve for those seeking to evade imposed limitations and maintain a connection with the outside world, thereby challenging government restrictions and highlighting the complexity of socioeconomic dynamics in such contexts. 4. Pyongyang's Ghost City. Though designed to impress, the North Korean capital often features wide, clean streets that contrast with the absence of human activity. This image of an orderly yet deserted city raises questions about daily life and residents' mobility. The cleanliness and order of the streets are carefully maintained to project an image of prosperity and governmental control, but the lack of pedestrian and vehicular activity suggests a more complex reality often invisible to foreign visitors. 5. Controlled tourist tours. Tourists visiting North Korea are constantly accompanied by government guides who strictly control their movements and access to information. This approach ensures that the image presented to the world is carefully managed by the regime. Visitors have limited access to pre-approved sites and are guided through a carefully crafted narrative that highlights the country's achievements while minimizing external challenges and criticisms. 6. Total control of media. In North Korea, the media is completely controlled by the state, serving as powerful tools for propaganda and ideological conformity. Citizens have access only to government-approved information, shaping their perception of the outside world and their own internal reality. State media such as the Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, and state television KCTV broadcast news and programs that promote the agenda of the Workers' Party of Korea and reinforce loyalty to the leadership. 7. Electricity shortages. Despite official claims, power outages are a daily reality for many North Koreans. Limited and aging energy infrastructure results in frequent electricity cuts, significantly affecting daily life and the country's ability to thrive economically. Prolonged blackouts impact the availability of lighting, heating, cooling, and operation of essential equipment, making daily activities difficult and exacerbating living conditions for the population. 8. The Songbun caste system. Citizens are classified into different social levels based on perceived loyalty to the regime. This structure, known as Songbun, determines not only educational and employment opportunities but also the quality of life and social status of each individual in North Korean society. Those deemed loyal to the regime receive privileges and access to scarce resources, while dissenters or those perceived as disloyal face discrimination, social ostracism, and restrictions on their rights and freedoms. 9. Omnipresent propaganda. Loudspeakers installed on every street continuously broadcast propaganda and patriotic music 24 hours a day, constantly reinforcing the official narrative and promoting national unity under the guidance of the single party. This practice is part of a continuous effort to maintain social and political cohesion within North Korean society, instilling a sense of national identity and loyalty towards the country's leadership. 10. Mandatory literature and ideological education. From a young age, citizens must study and memorize the writings of the Kim leaders as part of a compulsory educational curriculum. This practice not only educates but also indoctrinates citizens in the principles of Juche ideology, strengthening the regime's ideological control. The leaders' texts are considered sacred and serve as guides for building a self-reliant, militarized socialist society under the Workers' Party of Korea's direction. 11. Constant surveillance. Surveillance and control are pervasive in the daily lives of North Koreans. From neighbors reporting on neighbors to electronic surveillance systems, society is designed to maintain strict control over citizens' behavior and activities. This creates an atmosphere of distrust and fear, where free expression and dissent are severely suppressed. 12. Lack of civil liberties. In North Korea, basic civil liberties such as freedom of speech, press freedom, and freedom of assembly are severely restricted. Citizens have no right to express critical opinions about the government or engage in independent political activities. Political dissent is harshly punished, fostering an environment of forced conformity and suppression of individuality. 13. Use of forced labor camps. The North Korean government utilizes forced labor camps, known as Kwan-lee-so, to punish political dissidents and those perceived as threats to the regime. These camps are notorious for their inhumane conditions, where prisoners face grueling labor, malnutrition, and systematic abuse. Political prisoners and their families may be sent to these camps as punishment for crimes of opinion or having politically unfavorable backgrounds. 14. Glorification of autarky. North Korea promotes the ideology of autarky, known as Juche, which emphasizes self-sufficiency and national independence. This philosophy justifies the policy of international isolation and pursuit of economic and military self-sufficiency, often at the expense of economic development and the well-being of its population. 15. Control over religious beliefs. Although religious freedom is theoretically guaranteed by the Constitution, in practice, North Korea exercises strict control over religious activities. Religious practices are severely limited, and only government-controlled religious organizations are allowed, serving as extensions of state propaganda and reinforcing the regime's official ideology. These are just some of the incredible realities that define life in North Korea. As we explore these 15 fascinating and complex aspects, we realize that the true North Korea remains a mystery waiting to be uncovered. What other surprises await us behind the veil of propaganda and secrecy? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the video appearing on your screen right now.